Hello everybody, welcome back to Villars-sous-Écot. The final round of the FIA Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Pays de Montbéliard. We're at Villars-sous-Écot. Circuit is in a treacherous condition. The MX2 riders just finished a moment ago. But it's time for the big boys. MXGP Race 1 is up next. The French flags fly here at Villars-sous-Écot as they are in hope of a French victory here, just like they were last time we came here. Romain Febvre picking up his first ever Grand Prix victory in 2015. 12 degrees outside. Those beautiful images overhead were taken just a couple of days ago when it was absolutely beautiful outside. But there you see Glenn Koldenoff, Tony Cairoli and Max Anstey looking at the state of this circuit here at Villars. Absolutely buried under torrential rain over the last 2 days. Well, 24 hours actually we're getting close to. And something of a quagmire out there in one or two places. You saw how much of a struggle it was in MX2 Race 1 a moment ago. We've seen it with the EMX250s and the women at the start of the day, even though they had a shortened version of this racetrack. But what will these guys do?
The story of Alpinestars goes back to 1963 when the company created the first motocross boot, the first dedicated boot for the sport. So safety is paramount. That is one of our primary focus points. We know from all of the testing that we've been doing with all of our athletes, both road racing and off-road, that airbags inspire confidence. And we know that if you suffer a crash, having that airbag protection, and then with our system having the ability to fire an airbag again, makes a huge difference psychologically, to the point where it really does give a competitive advantage. So we believe strongly that airbag technology is the future for motorcycling across the board, but also a very real benefit to the athletes who use it. Laboratory testing we do looks at the impact values that we can achieve using the airbag. When we do the inflation of the airbag, you see how rigid it is. We create actually a very high pressure barrier between the rider's body and the impact point. And that means that we're able, across the whole upper body, to give a much, much higher level of impact protection than ever we can do with a passive protector. Right from the start, the Alpinestars Tech Air system was designed to be a stable platform, one that we could use in multiple environments. So we've already developed in MotoGP, and all our athletes use the system for road racing. That's now transcended across to Enduro and Dakar, and now we're moving across as well to MXGP and motocross generally. Romain Febvre, Jeremy Van Horbeck, Jeffrey Hurlings, Jordi Tixier, all running data logging systems that are specifically replicating the data streams that we will get from Tech Air. That means that now we're well down the track towards developing the first motocross tech air airbag system that we will bring to MXGP in the future, really making sure that a whole new level of protection is available to Alpine Stars riders and to motocross generally in the future.
Well, that was a quick look behind the scenes at the Alpine Star Development Centre, where you saw there the fantastic idea there with the airbag. Here's Lisa, though.
Welcome to the start of the first MXGP race of today. Thankfully, the sun is shining for it, but hopefully that will stay out. But joining me is Swiss rider Arno Tonis. Arno, we haven't seen you since your home GP. We know that you injured your rib. Give us an update on everything, and it's good to have you back.
Yeah, I'm also happy to be back. Even the conditions are really tough. I mean, it's good to be racing. My rib is actually going well. I have no pain anymore, so we'll see. I just try to have a good start. It's really important here, and do my best. Try to be smart and patient on those conditions. It's a bit tricky. We'll see.
And it's kind of like a second home GP for you, isn't it? Because we're right on the border of Switzerland and France. I've seen some Swiss flags in the crowd. How far are you from here, and are you looking forward to it?
I'm only 3 hours from here. Yeah. I live in Geneva, so it's like you said, not so far, but even I'm from Switzerland. I haven't ridden so much in the mud lately, yeah. So we'll see. I mean, it's always interesting, and I'll just do my best. We'll see.
Okay, well, best of luck. Thank you. Next rider I want to speak to is Tim Geiser. We saw him in Assen hit the deck pretty hard, and he didn't finish that second moto. He's looking very focused there. I don't know if he'll let us grab a few words. Can we grab a few words with Tim? No, we're told we can't grab a few words with him, but that's Tim Geiser there. Good luck to all the guys. It's time for MXGP Race 1.
So a live pit grid, pre-grid interview there with Lisa and Arno, and Tim obviously deciding to enjoy just a few more minutes of shut-eye there, getting himself completely focused, because as you can see there, Tony Cairoli is the new world champion. His teammate Jeffrey Hurling second, Paulin third guaranteed, DeSalle fourth, and Geiser fifth. Tricky conditions here ahead of MXGP Race 1. Important work going on down there at turn 1. This is how the MXGP qualifying race went yesterday. If you didn't see it, it was a completely different racetrack for everybody that's lining up today. Charging down into turn 1. Everybody started on the outside, but Anstey was over on the inside as the rain started to fall. Man down, and he's early at the start of the race there. Yamahas of Van Hoorbeek and Tonis battled for position, but it was Anstey who hit turn 2 up front. Tim Geiser made a mistake coming out of this left turn. Hurling's had a lot of momentum, bounced off the Slovenian, charged uphill. He maintained position as everybody else went through. Geiser remounted and came round in 13th place after that. Hurlings was at it again. This time he found his way past the number 12 of Max Nagel as he charged his way towards the front. Anstey led, but Romain Fevre found his way into the lead early on. He made a slight mistake that allowed Anstey to get even closer. Those two then banged bars for a little bit. So the Monster-Energy Yamaha already goggleless, and 99 Anstey duking it out. Van Hoorbeek fell. He picked himself up in 14th and eventually came home in 10th. The rain started to fall and made conditions pretty tricky out there. Once again, Fevre and Anstey were at it as they battled for the lead. The Frenchman just kept his Yamaha ahead of the Husqvarna rider, number 99. And that stayed like that for about 8 laps. Gauthier Paulin took the inside line here. Kevin Strybos took the outside. Jeffrey Hurlings tried to make a move up the inside. Those three fighting over third place. Then Hurlings charged up the inside of Paulin a lap later. Got himself into third, but not for long. Paulin just asserted his authority, flexed his muscles, and made Hurlings wait another lap. So on lap 8, Herlings finally did get into third on his Red Bull KTM. The Rockstar Energy Husqvarna of Paulin eventually came home fourth. The two guys at the front of the field jostled for position. And it was still Febvre and Anstey. Anstey got his moment though. A mistake from Febvre as he came out of the final turn with 2 laps to go. Allowed Anstey to go through. He took the lead at that moment. Herlings was in third. Fourth was Paulin. Fifth, Kevin Strybos. Geiser worked his way through the 6 after that earlier mistake. Nagel was 7, Tonus 8, Bobashev 9, Van Horebeke 10. But when the flag ran out, it was a first ever qualifying race win for Max Anstey on the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. Here's how the riders go to the grid for MXGP Race 1, as always, based on their qualifying race positions from Saturday. Max Anstey on pole, Romain Febvre second, Jeffrey Herlings third, Gauthier Paulin, Kevin Strybos, Tim Geiser, Max Nagel and Arno Tonus. 9th for Evgeny Bobashev and 10th for Jeremy Van Horebeke. Glenn Koldenov, Alessandro Lupino, Tony Cairoli had a quiet ride from just outside the top 20. Did enough just to come home in 13th. And Sean Simpson, Tano Leot, Maxime Dupre, Xavier Boug had a big crash this morning over the Ippon jump in warm-up. Valentin Guillot and Rui Gonçalves. As you can see, the riders haven't took to the track for their sighting lap. So it'll be a ride out blind for the first lap here, and everybody will go to the outside as we look at it, because look how much cleaner it is on the run-in down to turn 1. MXGP Race 1 is up next. The riders making their way to the line then. Some have gone to the inside, like Gauthier Paulin, like Tim Geiser. Over on the far side, we have Kevin Strybos getting into place there, number 22, trying to pick his position. Romain Febvre has gone into gate number 1 over on the far side. He is hoping to utilize this clean dirt where the 15 and 5-second boards are at the moment, because look across the middle of the gate there how rutty it is. Of course, they will have a much cleaner run into turn 1. They will utilize the bank on the outside. Romain Febvre having a word with one of our start race directors down there. There's Jeffrey Herlings. He went to the line third on his Red Bull KTM. Guaranteed second in the championship. Gauthier Paulin guaranteed third in the title chase, because he is 27 points clear of Clément Dessau. Dessau not here this weekend. He fractured a vertebrae in his neck last week, having crashed out of the race at Assen. There's Max Anstey, Rockstar Energy Husqvarna rider. But Tim Geiser, he's guaranteed. He's not guaranteed, actually. He's only 6 points clear of Romain Febvre. Febvre could get top 5 in a championship this weekend. There's your new champ, Tony Cairoli, briefly, 2:22. Tim Geiser still going through his routine. The sun is out, but for how much longer here at Villars-sous-Écot? The final round of the FIM Motocross World Championship. Gauthier Paulin will line up in gate number 1. The final round of the FIM Motocross World Championship, round 19, here at Pays de Montbéliard, the circuit of Villars-sous-Écot. We've had torrential rain over the last couple of days. The track, something of a quagmire. Interesting to see how the guys get off of the new mesh system there with mud and water all over it. Gauthier Paulin, Rockstar Energy Husqvarna, he lines up 4th. He goes to gate number 1, though, at the inside. But look to the outside where our race director, Mr. Ingo Parch, is over there. Romain Febvre, Jeffrey Hurlings, Max Anstey all decided to go over that side of the racetrack because it's a much cleaner run downhill into this off-cambered 180 right-hand turn. 30 minutes plus 2 laps. Tony Cairoli already guaranteed the championship. He was crowned world champion a week ago. Hurlings, Paulin to Sal. They are your top 4. But 5th place is still up for grabs between the likes of Tim Geiser and Romain Febvre. The 15-second board turns to 5. MXGP race 1, 30 minutes plus 2 laps here at Villars-Suzerain. The concentration there from Gauthier Paulin over on gate number 1 on the left-hand side. He gets a good jump. Febvre staying out wide for a long time here. Maybe too long. And it's Hurlings and Anstey. They battle, but Cairoli from out of nowhere. Did he grab the foxhole shot, though? That's the question. Or was it Koldenoff, actually? Koldenoff, 2.59. So Koldenoff it is who leads away. Riders down. Is that Geiser? It is. No, it's Bobryshev. 7.77. Geiser in 2nd place. 3rd is Van Hoornweg. 4, Anstey. 5th, Hurlings. No, he's just found his way past the Brit and getting up over that plateau. No problems for the 450 guys. And it's Febvre there in 3rd place. French fans on their feet. Look at the ruts out here, but this is going to be the treacherous part. These guys have not seen the circuit since warm-up this morning. Long, deep ruts. I wouldn't be surprised if we see guys going A over T down here. But look at Geiser looking to go around the outside. They've cleaned the ruts up and the exit of that turn. That's how it was at the start of MX2 earlier, but that soon developed into one of the treacherous spots on a racetrack. Over the little tag. Oh, Cairoli off the side of the track. He tries to remount. He does. He's right at the back of the pack there. Made a bad start, and he's had a poor first lap as well. But it's Geiser who leads downhill for the first time here. Koldenoff in 2nd. 3rd is Romain Febvre. On that blue Yamaha, looking to go to the inside of the Dutchman. Nice line through there for Febvre. Has to get on the drier line. Nothing completely dry at the moment. 4th out on track is Max Anstey. 5th is Van Hoornweg. 6th Paulin. 7 is Lupino. 8 is Hurlings. 9 Maxime Dupre. And 10, Andy Baumgartner, just ahead of Xavier Bourg in 11th place. Will bring them through over the line, though. Febvre looking to make a move on Koldenoff. And makes the pass stick. He goes into 2nd on his Monster Energy Yamaha. Romain Febvre with one thing on his mind. He wants a race win. Watch this. This is from the bottom angle. Good, clean line and came across the front of Koldenoff. Took the line away from the Dutchman who had to yield there. Anstey, number 99, in 4th place. He's your 3rd rider in shot. Then we've got Van Hoornweg. Paulin is in 6th. Hurling 7. Lupino 8. Dupre 9. Xavier Bourg 10. Cairoli, despite that off-track excursion, is in 11th position. Andy Baumgartner is in 12th as Febvre stretches it out over that double on the uphill there. Brian Boulard is 13. Nagel 14. Stefan Eckerol 15. Nicolas Dercourt as a MXGP wildcard this weekend is in 16. Damon Growlers for 24 MX is 17. Ahead of Evgeny Bobryshev, Kevin Schreiber and Rui Gonçalves. The fans on their feet though for Romain Febvre. He was 3.3 seconds down on Tim Geiser as he hit the line at the end of that first unofficial lap. Geiser already at the top of the hill on his HRC Honda. Guillaume in 21st, Björn Giert, Arno Tonas in 23rd, Dan Thornhill 24th for Caps Green's Husqvarna, Michael Doherty 25, Tano Leok, Sean Simpson 27, just ahead of Ander Valentin, Jason Clement and Ludovic Macler. Here's your race leader. I tell you what, Romain Febvre is looking menacing already on the opening lap. He's thinking, you know what, I've absolutely nothing to lose. If I win, great. If I don't even care. He pretty much said as much on our studio show on MXGPTV.com a week ago in Assen. For someone who's had world titles and Grand Prix victories, of course, like he has, Romain Febvre, currently on 12 wins. Of course, he is, you know, all he wants to do is win. It was a 3.3 second gap last time around. Geiser already up and over the finish line. The gap, 2:08.006, fastest man on track was Geiser, 2:09.7. Oh, 5 seconds, so he's lost a bit of ground there as Romain Febvre. Now he's got clear track though, can just regroup, see if he can do anything about Tim Geiser. Colden off third, Anstey is still in fourth. Concentration has to be at an all-time high. There's Van Horebeke and Paulin. They are in 5th and 6th place. So the Monster Energy Yamaha, the lead rider in that shot, and the all-in-white Gauthier Paulin. Oh, big case there for Tim Geiser. High-pitched voice if he were to speak to Lisa Leyland right now. Fans on their feet over this side of the circuit and on the bottom end of the circuit for Romain Febvre. Geiser will hear that as well. It was a 5-second advantage he had. The trials right his way down through those ever-lengthening ruts over on the far side of the circuit between turns 5 and 6. You notice his Fox helmet is just padded out. There! Van Horebeke down! Ahead of Gauthier Paulin. Herlings goes through. Jeremy Van Horebeke out of 5th place. Here's Gerlings. Jeffrey Herlings, number 84, Red Bull KTM. He takes over 6th place then. Van Horebeke down to 7th. The 868 there of Michael Doherty, where you'd think the Irishman would be more than keen in these conditions. A true battle of survival. 47 of Brian Boulard there, so already traffic becoming an issue for the MXGP riders. The top guys, they come through. Geiser leads, Febvre is second. Just looking at the split times at the first sector, Romain Febvre was about 8/10 quicker than Geiser that time around, but then he lost a little bit on sector 2. Sector 3 pulled a bit back. Down again on sector 4. We'll see what the gap is though. 4.9 seconds, so 2:09.7, 2:09.6. Anstey is through in third, Colden off 4. Paulin should be 5th. There's Van Horebeke, he'll go through in 7th place. Watch this. Van Horebeke just cross-rutted. Fortunately for him, Paulin is already clear of the Belgian. And here is Jeremy Van Horebeke, number 89. Oh, Boulard, I think that is just ahead of him. Yeah, he's a lap down, throws his goggles to his team. Decided no longer wants them for the next 22.5 minutes. Geiser has a slender lead at the top at the moment. 4.9 seconds clear of Yamaha's Romain Febvre. Here he is in 2nd position. Where is Geiser? There he is. Is that 4.9 seconds? Yes or no? Waved yellows at the end of the straight. Back marker has gone. There's Geiser! Is that Geiser? No, it's and de Valentin. And de Valentin. Just saw the similar colorways there. So Geiser just giving us a fright there. He continues to lead the way. Just picking his lines methodically as he drops downhill. If we get through this without any rain, there was the number 7 of Tano Leon there as well, just being leapt on the Ottaviano Husqvarna. Paulin's had a mistake from 5th. Talk about going the long way round. No other option. See how high the advertising banners are these days. They're about 3 meters high. So there was no way for him to get through there, apart from going the long way round. Added about 70 kilometers to his journey in the meantime. Right, Geiser leads. Febvre, though, set the fastest lap of the race, 2:06 that time around. The gap now 4 seconds. Here's Bobryshev. He is now down to 12th. Yellows, cautionary yellows, waved yellows all around the circuit. Blue flags at the top of the hill there. We're only on lap 4. It's mayhem, it's pandemonium. The best MXGP riders in the world dealing with the most worst conditions. There's Jeffrey Hurlings. He goes through in 6th position on his Red Bull KTM. It's Tim Geiser who leads by 4 seconds now over Romain Febvre. The HRC Honda rider is just hanging on there. Gauthier Paulin for Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. Oh, big panic rev. He was short. Hurlings finds a way through on the Frenchman. Looks to rebound immediately. Koldenhoff just ahead of them, look. So Geiser, Febvre, Anstey, your top 3. Koldenhoff 4. Hurlings now 5. And the man in white, Gauthier Paulin. This is where he went off track a lap ago. Went the other side of the barriers there. And that was why Hurlings was able to get close to him in the first place. Van Horbik is still there in 7th. Maxime Dupre having a fantastic ride on the 141 Kawasaki. Gavin van Venrooy's Kawasaki rider, the Dutch team. Possibly one of his best results of the year at the moment for the 141. Had a 12th in France in the opening race at Ernay a few rounds ago. Another drink, anybody? Here's Anstey, I think. Or is it Nagel? So Anstey over the line in 3rd. Another fastest lap of the race for Romain Febvre, a 2:06.7. He is less than 3 seconds behind Tim Geiser now. Damon Growlers just ahead of Anstey. Is in 20th position, and there's the gap. It is not 2.8 seconds. Romain Febvre has got a real sense of urgency here. A little bit offline there as he's wrestling that Yamaha, dealing with the back marker traffic ahead of him. Geiser just getting away momentarily. Rui Gonçalves, 9.99 on the Ottaviano Husqvarna. Just at the back of this shot, Febvre slides his way down the inside of another back marker. 82, I think that was Andy Baumgartner. And Baumgartner actually in the points in 18th place. But the two leaders coming through, it is almost like a Le Touquet Endurapal here, where the quick guys come through and they've got riders all over the place. There's Simpson, normally a good mudman. He's in 16th place on that Wilbo Yamaha MXGP machine. Mindful of the fact of what's going on. Geiser and Febvre. Nice riding that from Sean Simpson. He knew that Febvre was going to come around the outside of him. Oh, Hurlings has found his way past Koldenhoff, gets himself into 4th as well. Where's Cairoli? He's in 8th place. Oh, we're going to see a change for the lead, though, at the end of this 5th lap. Fans on their feet there, urging Romain Febvre every step of the way. Here he is, and there is your race leader just ahead of him. So Geiser here, that's not 2.8 seconds anymore. Is it going to be another fastest lap of the race? For Romain Febvre, he gets good drive there. 2:06.7, well, no, 2:08. 1.3 now the gap between Geiser and Febvre. Anstey, we still wait for him to come through in 3rd. Where is he? Well, he's out there somewhere, folks. Right, 16 seconds off the lead is Anstey. 2:12, so lapping slower than the top 2 guys. We wait for Hurlings to come through. Any moment now. This is a battle for the lead, though. We saw Geiser case there a lap or so ago. He wasn't clean there either, nor too was Romain Febvre. Febvre urged on by the home crowd. A lot cleaner through this part of the racetrack than he was a lap ago. Keeping it all the way to the outside, utilising that bank. The cleanest ruts, waved yellows all over the place. Riders looking ahead as much as they can. Couldn't quite see who that was at the top of the hill. $16 minutes plus 2 to go. Febvre knows he's still got time on his hands if he's to take the 25 points here. Geiser, though, has led from the very first lap. Febvre has a race win. He's in Sweden. Got him on the podium that day. His only race win of the year so far. Herlings is 4th, Koldenhoff is 5th, Paulin 6th, Van Horbeke 7th, Cairoli 8th, Dupre 9, Strybos 10, Bobryshev 11, Tonas just goes through in 12th place, 13th for Lupino. And we wait for Max Nagel as we pick up the 4.61 of Romain Febvre through the waves on the run down towards the finish line. Nagel has just gone through. The rider ahead of these guys next will be Nicolas Durcourt, I think. Right. Uphill. The gap 2 seconds now. 6/10 in it between the top two. Van Horbeke and Cairoli. Cairoli to the outside, finding his way past the Belgian. Cairoli now up into 7th position. They are in danger of being lapped soon, though, by these guys, Tim Geiser and Romain Febvre. Waved yellows, erring on the side of caution. Man down over on the far side there. Up and over the step, onto that plateau. Again, that's not a 2-second gap between Geiser and Febvre. Ernst is still 3rd, Herlings 4th, Koldenhoff is still 5th, Paulin 6th, Cairoli now 7th, Van Horbeke is 8th. Up to 9th is Kevin Strybos for Suzuki World MXGP. He's just found his way past Maxime Dupre on the Gavin van Venrooy Kawasaki. .817, Jessin Clement just getting lapped there as the leaders come through. That's not for the first time, though. Rider facing the wrong way, just the other side of that step down. Sun coming out, but not enough to dry out these circuit conditions. Temperatures hovering around about 12 to 14 degrees today. Paulin getting into trouble at the top of the hill there with Koldenhoff just in the opposite direction. Saw that. Looks like he was making a challenge for 5th place across that top plateau. Downhill. Coming towards the end of lap 7 then. Geiser still leads. The gap between 1st and 2nd is right there. It's not 2 seconds. Geiser still in charge, though, with 13 to go. Romain Febvre just sets the fastest lap of the race, a 2:06.5 on lap 7. As conditions worsen, the Frenchman is getting faster on his Monster Energy Yamaha. He has got that gap down to nothing. Geiser just ahead of him for Team HRC MXGP. Romain Febvre's Monster Energy Yamaha is ready to pounce on the Slovenian. The front end just pours its way into the air there from the Slovenian on that red machine. He does enough just to stay ahead, though. That rider's still over there on the Suzuki. Been parked there now for about a week. Febvre just losing important drive on the run uphill. It was a short landing, but he got over there just. Geiser has a good momentum going on this side of the racetrack. Oh, Febvre almost off. That's Nagel just ahead of them. He's almost in danger of being a lap down. He's in 14th place on the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. The final race of the year, round 19 of the FIA Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Pays de Montbéliard. And we are at Villars-sous-Écot, eastern France, close to the Swiss border. MXGP race 1 with 11.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Tim Geiser continues to lead. That's him there in red. The blue Yamaha here of Romain Febvre is 2nd. He is urged on by every single one of the people here today. He is riding on home soil. Nagel tips over as he gets lapped in 14th position on that number 12 machine. Febvre has tried on several occasions. He's got close, but he's never been able to execute a pass that takes him ahead of Geiser. Geiser making the Frenchman work very, very hard, making him go offline every now and again. Looks like he may have just extended that 1.2 second gap, though. Well, he did until he ran into the back of... Couldn't quite get the number on the guy just ahead of him there. Well, whoever it is, he just takes a long look over his shoulder. 1.8, so 0.6 gained. Oh, it's Febvre. Yeah, he's just here. Anstey having a fantastic ride in third as well. Hurling's still in fourth. He just set his own fastest lap of the race last time around, a 2:09.6. Febvre 2:08 that time around. Paulin is in fifth. He did find his way past Glenn Coltenoff. Cairoli is seventh. Van Hoornbeek is 8. We wait for those guys to come through. Only 3 laps so far on the same lap. 8 in the bag. Great drive there from Febvre. Goes back after the Honda rider. Listen to the roar of the French crowd. Concentration of the highest order. There's Anstey in third. The Brit having a good run at the moment in the second half of the season. There's Van Hoornbeek dropping downhill for Monster Energy Yamaha. Oh, it's Febvre, sorry. Where is Van Hoornbeek actually? He's still in 8th place. The gap just opens up and closes again between Geiser and Febvre. Looks like there's just 1 or 2 dry lines appearing. If the rain stays off, Romain Febvre just bouncing, landing hard. The front end just sliding from underneath him there as he came into land, almost threw him on the deck. But he's got that gap back down again. They're coming up to lap. Is that Bobryshev? Yeah. So Bobryshev in 13th, teammate to Geiser, your current race leader, about to go past the big Russian with 9 minutes to go. Geiser does go through. There's Bobryshev. He's in between first and second here. Moves aside though at the top of the hill. Lets these two get on with it, Geiser and Febvre. 2:08 that time around. Geiser was about a half a second quicker than Febvre. Nothing other than a win will do for either of these two. Not heard anything yet, and it might not even be the case, but remember Indonesia when we just had the one moto? This could determine an overall Grand Prix win here. You never know, but the sun comes out and the rain stays off. There might be time in the hour break or so to get this track cleaned up, ready for MX2 Race 2. It'll still be difficult, but it will start to dry in certain areas on the racetrack. So whichever way you look at it, it's going to be a mudfest. It's going to be a hell of a slog out there as well. Here's Anstey. He's still there in third. Hurling sets the fastest lap of the race that time around at 2:06.2. Some 4 seconds quicker than Anstey. Unfortunately for him, he's about 14 seconds down on the Brit. Still time, though, to get himself into that third place. Nothing in it between first and second, again, as they head up the hill there. Geiser and Febvre locked together, as they have been for 9 laps. We are on lap 10. Back markers might decide the outcome of this race. Febvre goes to the inside as Geiser goes around the outside of Alessandro Lupino on the Asamoto Red Moto Honda. He is in 12th place, and now a lap down, and Febvre has no choice but to go to the inside. Lupino would have seen Geiser go through. Surely he has to be aware that the leaders are coming through now. He's probably wrapped up in his own little battle, though, with the number 4 of Arno Tonas. Tonas to the side of the Ippon jump, a little bit squirrely there for Geiser as he came into land. Lupino looks across to his right as Febvre goes by. That gap, 2.3 last time around, is now 3.3. So Febvre losing touch. 4:11, Nicolas Decour takes a long look over his shoulder, sees the leaders come through. Decour in the points in 18th position. Slight mistake there for Geiser as he crested that hill into turn 2. Here's Anstey. Has he made a mistake? This was a lap ago. Just tipped over. Had to leg his way through. Holds on to third though. That might be why. Hurlings was about 4 seconds quicker than him. But then having said that, Anstey goes through 2:08. Hurlings is getting faster. The Mudman Hurlings, 2:04.4. 10 seconds down on Anstey now, with 5.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. There he is in the opposite direction. All of a sudden, Jeffrey Hurlings here, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, can sense a third place opportunity. He would love to nick it away from Anstey. Railing those ruts, he's got good momentum. He is the fastest man on track by a long way. 2:08.9 for Geiser, 2:09.8 for Fevre, 2:8.8 for Anstey, and 2:04.4 for Hurlings. He's 39 seconds down on Geiser here, who continues to lead. And I wonder if that 3.3 second gap has just gone out a little bit more. It doesn't look like it's coming down any. But if Hurlings can do a 2:04, so too can these two. But with Geiser, he is just riding a nice, steady pace, trying hard not to make mistakes. Romain Fevre is making mistakes, trying to push on to the rear wheel of the Honda rider ahead of him. Looks like he's got that gap down from 3.3, though, judging by that last camera angle. Not much, but Hurlings is obviously riding some very good lines whilst in that fourth position. And he set the fastest first sector of the lap as well. A 28.6 compared to Anstey's 31.5, a 31.0 compared to a 32.3. Anstey's third split, a 38.3 and a 38.2. So again, Hurlings closing in. It was 9.6 seconds behind Anstey at the start of the lap. But he's got the Englishman just ahead of him. He'll see him. I reckon that gap's going to be 4 or 5 seconds, you know. Anstey over the line now, 31 seconds off the lead, and there is Hurlings. 4 seconds behind, 4.9 seconds behind. Another fastest lap of the race, a 2:04.0. Head and shoulders above everybody else, Jeffrey Hurlings, and he puts everything into his final laps here. Geiser, 3.8 seconds clear of Fevre. Anstey is third, but for how much longer? Here he is, finding his way on the number 99, Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. He's got the 49 just ahead of him of Journey It actually just inside the points in 19th place, but getting lapped there on his Maraghet Husqvarna. And look how quickly Jeffrey Hurlings is closing. Closing on Anstey. Again, Anstey just caught in that zone of just riding a perfect ride here, trying not to make mistakes. But Hurlings, he's just decided, you know what? Let's just get the job done here. He's got his head down. He's got 2 Huskies ahead of him. The one that's closest to him is the number 99 and Max Anstey. That's the battle for third between Anstey and Hurlings. Your 2 riders in shot here. Oh. A tricky moment there for Anstey as he ran alongside his teammate Max Nagel at the top of the hill. Hurlings all over the back of Anstey now. If he runs wide, he might see the flash of orange. But Hurlings up on the pegs early. He's hard on the gas, down through those ruts. This is where we'll see Hurlings. His lines starting to come good. Both riders through the waves. A little bit squirrely there for Hurlings, though, as he deals with the back marker. Looks like this one, with a couple of minutes to go, might go the way of Kim Geiser now, because he's 5.7 seconds clear of Romain Fevre. Anstey and Hurlings, though, separated by not a lot. As you can see, third and fourth coming towards you. The 2 riders at the head of the shot there. Anstey on the white Husqvarna, Hurlings on the orange KTM. This is a fight for third place. Looked like Hurlings was saving his goggles early on in the race. Sides his way down the inside of Anstey and left him like he was stood still. A quick pull of the tear off as he went into the turn. Gave him perfect vision. And watch this here. Just gone for a completely different line. Anstey caught napping. Gets pushed down to 4th. Great riding that from Jeffrey Hurlings. He's got his head down. charge to the inside. All of a sudden, he's up in the third place. Where's Febvre? Here he is, over on the... He's the third rider in shot. Looks like that might be Tonus just ahead of him, number 4. In yellow on the Wilvo Yamaha MXGP machine, is it? Could be. Yes, it is. So the Swiss rider looks back. He's already seen Geiser go through. Tonus in 10th place in the fluorescent colours there. Geiser on the factory Monster Energy Yamaha goes past his counterpart. Right, Geiser over the line. The gap now, 5 seconds. Febvre was quicker by a second that time around. Got to deal with the back marker. Looks like Rui Gonçalves again, just going through the motions, just trying to score as many points as he can. He's in 16th position at the moment. Febvre will see Geiser at the end of the straight. That's him coming towards us here. Hurling's line through there is so nice, where he just passed Anstey a moment ago. Keep an eye on the gap now between Hurling's right, 32 seconds down on Geiser. 27, 28 seconds down on Febvre, who's just here. And only about a second lap quicker that time around. So there should, with 3 laps to go, be enough of a gap there between Febvre and Hurling's to not be challenged. Cairoli getting lapped by Geiser and soon to be lapped by the 461 of Romain Febvre. Cairoli in 9th place on the Red Bull KTM. He's the lead rider in this particular shot here. A real mudder here at Villars-Sous-Écot. Cairoli looks across. Sees Febvre come through. Geiser has already gone through. Keep an eye on those splits. Geiser is getting caught here. 30.6, a full second caught in the first sector. Romain Febvre, the 29.6 compared to the 30.6 of Geiser. Here he is, Romain Febvre in second. He still believes the win is on. 32.1 and a 33.0. Another 9/10 pull back as Megan looks on. Febvre's girlfriend here, of course. Lost a little bit on the third sector, though. 37.5, 38.3, about 8/10. 5.039 was the gap at the start of lap 14. Here's Geiser at the end of the lap, getting ready to lap Jeremy Van Hoorwijk now in 8th. The gap between first and second is now 3.4. Game back on again for Romain Febvre. Van Hoorwijk looks back, sees his teammate coming through in second position. Oh, this one is getting very, very close. It's been a good 2 laps for Febvre. Deep ruts. Geiser not clean over that step up, but goes up to the bank, gets some dirt, clean dirt underneath those rear tyres of his. This gap is coming down again. Fastest first sectors for both these 2 riders on this penultimate lap. Geiser set his own fastest sector at 29.1. That time around at 28.667 for Febvre. 3.4 seconds is getting considerably less than that. The fans on their feet. Febvre does not want to disappoint the home fans. He wants a race win. He wants it here on home soil at Villars-Sous-Écot. Doesn't live too far from here anyway when he spends his time in France, but most of the time resides in Belgium. Goes to the inside. Here's Geiser and Febvre. One last push from the Frenchman on the blue Monster Energy Yamaha. 4.52, Ludovic Mackler just moves aside as the HRC top brass look on from pit lane. That is how close it is between first and second. The opponent jump to here has Geiser just opened up a bit of an advantage going into the final lap. It was 3.4. There he is. 15 laps in the bag now. And there's Febvre. 3.4, 3.7. Ah, it's perilously close for the Frenchman. It's tantalizingly close. Koldenoff has been lapped. There he is, 2.59 in blue. Koldenoff in 7th place. Oh, Baumgartner off the side of the track there, coming out of turn 2. Definitely look like he's been in the wars. Front number plate hanging off that KTM. Oh, Febvre just gets held up in the deep rut there. This is the final lap, the tricky final lap. Traffic all over the place. A mistake now will be costly. Febvre's just made one on the run in towards turn 3. But look how cool Geiser has been. Is there another twist? Baumgartner disposes of his goggles. Here's Febvre. Koldenoff just ahead of him. Koldenoff in 7th position for Red Bull KTM. So far, Geiser has 7 race wins this year. Looking to make it win number 8. We'll put him 1 behind Tony Cairoli. Jeffrey Hurlings has the most wins, though, with 11. He's about 31 seconds down on Romain Febvre, though, in 3rd place. Just left his timing too late as Geiser goes up the inside of Kevin Strijbos on the final lap. Puts the Belgian out of his misery because Strijbos will finish in 6th place now, no matter what. And he's got 1 less lap to do. Geiser up on the pegs, through the waves for the final time. That Honda doing everything he has to be in moto number 1. He was a little bit short there on the landing. But Tim Geiser will win race 1 here at Villars-sous-Écot. And the MXGP of Pays de MONTBELIARD. That was a hard slog. I don't care what you say, I don't care how good your mud riding skills are. Concentration had to be at a premium. Febvre over the line now. He did back it off on the final lap. He realised he'd made 1 or 2 mistakes too many. Comes home in 2nd, 11.2 seconds adrift. And here is Jeffrey Hurlings on the run down towards the finish line, the bottom section of the racetrack through those waves. He put in fastest lap after fastest lap. Got himself in the 3rd, made light work of Max Anstey just a few laps ago. And he will take 3rd, and he'll be the lead Red Bull KTM rider in race 1. Anyway, here's Lisa with your race winner, Tim Geiser.
Tim Geiser, congratulations, your 8th race win of the year. Great job defending your lead there from Febvre.
Yeah, you know, I think start was really important. So I take a good start and then make a quick pass in the beginning. So I was immediately in the lead, and then I tried to ride smart because it's really difficult out there. You know, many rods, many lines. So really important which line you take. So yeah, I'm really happy. You know, hopefully we can do that in the second moto as well. So want to say hello to my dad. He's not with me here. He's in hospital. He crashed. So wish him quick recovery and to be back soon with me in the races.
Good luck for the second race. Thank you.
Roger Harvey there, General Manager for HRC MXGP. One of the first to congratulate Tim Geiser as he crossed the line, victorious in MXGP Race 1. He was pushed all the way by Romain Febvre, but in the end, 1 or 2 mistakes cost the Frenchman dear, and it was a 11.2 second victory for the Slovenian. Can he do it again in Race 2? Race result then from MXGP Race 1. Tim Geiser for Team HRC was your winner. Romain Febvre for Monster Energy Yamaha 2nd. KTM's Red Bull factory rider Jeffrey Hurlings 3rd. Max Anstey for Rockstar Energy Husqvarna was 4th. Then Gauthier Paul and his teammate was 5th. Kevin Strijbos, Suzuki Wide MX2 was 6th. Koldenoff 7th. Van Hoornbeek 8th. Cairoli 9. And the Wilvo Yamaha of Arno Tonus was 10. Bobryshev 11. Dupre 12 on the Van Gebben Van Rooij Kawasaki. Alessandro Lupino 13 for Asamoto Red Moto. Nagel, Simpson, Gonçalves for Ottaviano Husqvarna. Tano Leop, Johnny Eert for Marrakesh. Nick Durcourt and Damon Growlers for 24MX Honda.
Like I mentioned, and I'm glad that I win that first motor, so hopefully the second one is going to be
Here's what happened in MXGP race 1. Tony Cairoli made a terrible start. His teammate, though, from the middle of the pack, almost pulled a foxhole shot, but it was either Anstey or Hurlings, yet to be decided. But charging through the first turn, down the first straight, it was a quagmire down there. Riders all over the place. Koldenhoff led initially coming out of the turn. Bobryshev fell there. Coming out of turn 2. But before long, we had a leader in the form of Tim Geiser. Koldenhoff was in second. But Febvre charged up the inside of the Dutchman and went after Tim Geiser on his Yamaha. Van Horbig fell from, what, 5th place? Right in front of Paulin, who was fortunately airborne at the time. He lost a couple of positions there in that little exchange. He eventually came home in 8th. Paulin went all the way around the outside at the bottom turn, at the bottom of the hill. That allowed Hurlings to get close, and then about a half lap later, the Frenchman was passed after coming up short on one of the step-ups. Hurlings then got himself into 4th and went after Anstey. His teammate got lapped in the process. Tony Cairoli found his way past Jeremy Van Horbig, but then Cairoli would also fall a little bit further back to come home in 9th. That was the move of the day. Hurlings sidling his way down the inside of Anstey to get himself into 3rd. And despite one or two little moments, Febvre got himself onto the rear wheel on numerous occasions, but wasn't able to get close enough to do anything about Geiser's charge at the head of the field. Back markers started to come into play in the final stages of the race, but that didn't bother Tim Geiser, who went on to win race 1 by 11.2 seconds. Febvre was second, Hurlings, Anstey, Paulin, your top 5 in MXGP race 1 here at Villars-sous-Écot.
Oui, absolument, et on sait toujours que le French en rugby est fort, mais il n'y a pas de raison qu'il ne le soit pas.
Max Anstey with the foxhole shot for the 2nd time of the year. So another black plate for the Englishman. His last one came in Switzerland. So congratulations, Max Anstey. Of course, that already decided now in Cairoli's favour. Cairoli on 15, Febvre and Geiser still on 4. Right, let's take a look at some of the best moments then from MXGP race 1. Right, we're going to take a break for about an hour now, but join us again when we return at the top of the hour, 4 o'clock for MX2, race 2.